What if I told you that the single most comprehensive natural package of back nerve healing nutrients available in any affordable whole food at your local grocery store is not a superfood from a specialty health store? It is not an expensive supplement. It is not something that requires a prescription or a doctor's visit. It is a small flat legume that costs less than $2 a pound and that most Americans either ignore completely or think of only as an ingredient in soup. That legume is lentils, and the reason I am describing their nutrient profile as the most comprehensive natural package for back nerve health is not marketing language. It is nutritional biochemistry. In a single 1-cup serving of cooked lentils, you get 358 micrograms of folate, 90% of your daily requirement for nerve cell DNA repair. You get 6.6 milligrams of iron, critical for oxygen delivery to nerve tissue. You get 71 milligrams of magnesium, essential for NMDA receptor stabilization and pain threshold regulation. You get 3.3 milligrams of zinc, directly protective of nerve cell membranes. You get meaningful concentrations of B1, B2, and B6, all critical for myelin synthesis and nerve signal regulation. No other food combines all of these nerve-specific nutrients in a single serving at this price point. Today I'm showing you exactly how each one benefits your back nerve pain, and exactly how to eat lentils every day for maximum results. And real quick, right now, before we go any further, if you know someone over 60 whose back nerve pain has never truly responded to treatment, someone who has tried everything and still wakes up every morning in pain, pause this video right now and send it to them immediately. Because what we are about to share could be the most affordable and most nutritionally complete natural intervention they have ever tried for their back nerve health. And if you are not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button right now. Every single week, we bring you honest, research-backed, and genuinely life-changing health information that your doctor probably never had time to explain. This community grows every single week, and I do not want you to miss a single video. Now let us get completely into this, because lentils and what they do to your back nerve tissue at the cellular level is one of the most important nutritional discoveries you are going to make this year. Let us start with the biology, because understanding exactly what is happening inside your back nerve tissue when it is under chronic inflammatory assault is the foundation for understanding why lentils' specific nutrient combination is so precisely and so powerfully relevant to your back nerve pain. Your back nerves, the nerve roots emerging from your lumbar spine, and the peripheral nerve branches they give rise to, are living biological structures that require a continuous and comprehensive supply of specific nutrients to maintain their myelin sheath, regulate their pain threshold, repair daily inflammatory damage, and sustain the electrical potential across their cell membranes that determines how easily and how intensely they fire pain signals. When any one of these critical nutrients is deficient, when your back nerve tissue is not receiving adequate folate, adequate B vitamins, adequate magnesium, adequate zinc, or adequate iron, the affected biological processes begin to deteriorate. Myelin synthesis slows, pain threshold regulation becomes impaired, nerve cell DNA damage accumulates without repair, inflammatory damage compounds rather than resolves. And the back nerve pain that results from these nutritional deficits becomes progressively more persistent, more severe, and more resistant to treatment with every passing month. What makes this situation particularly challenging for American seniors over 60 is that the standard American diet, even for people who genuinely believe they are eating reasonably well, is chronically deficient in the exact nerve-healing nutrients that lentils provide. Folate is depleted by alcohol consumption, certain medications, and heat processing of foods. B vitamins are depleted by stress, by poor gut absorption common in older adults, and by the refined and processed foods that make up a disproportionately large share of most seniors' diets. Magnesium is depleted by diuretic medications, by caffeine, by alcohol, and by soil depletion that has reduced the magnesium content of commercially grown vegetables by up to 35% over the past 50 years. Zinc is depleted by aging itself. Research has shown that zinc absorption efficiency declines by approximately 40% between the ages of 20 and 70, and iron sufficiency for optimal nerve tissue oxygenation is compromised by the reduced stomach acid production that occurs with aging and that impairs non-heme iron absorption from plant foods. Lentils, through their extraordinary concentration of all five of these nutrients in a single affordable food, address this entire spectrum of nerve-healing nutritional deficiency simultaneously with every daily serving. Now let us go through the 5 specific mechanisms through which lentils' nutrient profile directly addresses back nerve pain, because understanding each mechanism gives you a complete picture of exactly why this humble legume is so specifically and so powerfully relevant to your situation. The first mechanism is folate-mediated nerve cell DNA repair and homocysteine reduction. Folate, vitamin B9, is the nutrient in lentils present in the most therapeutically significant concentration. 1 cup of cooked lentils provides 358 micrograms of folate, 90% of the recommended daily intake for adults. And for back nerve health specifically, folate plays 2 critical and complementary roles. The first role is direct DNA repair in nerve cells. Your nerve cells, like all cells, experience continuous DNA damage from oxidative stress, from inflammatory compounds, and from the normal metabolic processes of cellular function. In healthy cells with adequate folate, this DNA damage is continuously and efficiently repaired through the folate-dependent 1-carbon metabolism pathway that synthesizes the purines and pyrimidines needed for DNA synthesis and repair. When folate is deficient, nerve cell DNA damage accumulates, impairing nerve cell function, accelerating nerve cell death, and reducing the nerve's capacity for self-repair and regeneration. The second, and perhaps more immediately relevant role of folate for back nerve pain is its critical function in regulating homocysteine metabolism. Homocysteine is an amino acid produced as a byproduct of normal protein metabolism that, when elevated in the blood, a condition called hyperhomocystinemia, is directly toxic to nerve tissue. Research published in the journal Neurology found that elevated homocysteine levels were significantly associated with peripheral nerve damage, reduced nerve conduction velocity, and increased neuropathic pain severity in older adults. Folate, along with B12 and B6, is one of the 3 primary nutrients responsible for converting homocysteine back to non-toxic methionine through the methylation pathway. When folate is deficient, homocysteine accumulates, nerve tissue is directly damaged by its toxic effects, and back nerve pain worsens progressively. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that dietary folate supplementation from whole food sources, specifically from legumes, produced significant reductions in plasma homocysteine levels within 4 weeks of consistent daily consumption, with the reductions in homocysteine directly correlating with improvements in peripheral nerve function measurements. The second mechanism is lentils B vitamin complex and its comprehensive effects on myelin synthesis and nerve signal regulation. Lentils contain meaningful concentrations of 3 of the 4 myelin-critical B vitamins, B1 thiamine, B2 riboflavin, and B6 pyridoxine, in addition to their exceptional folate content. Each of these B vitamins plays a distinct and irreplaceable role in back nerve health. Thiamine, vitamin B1, is the essential cofactor for 3 critical enzymes in cellular energy metabolism: pyruvate dehydrogenase, alpha-ketoglutarate dehydrogenase, and transketolase, that together produce the ATP energy that powers every function of your nerve cells, including the maintenance of membrane electrical potential, the synthesis of myelin lipids, and the active transport of nerve-healing nutrients along the length of nerve fibers. When thiamine is deficient, your nerve cells cannot produce adequate ATP, and the entire cascade of nerve maintenance and repair processes that depend on cellular energy begins to fail simultaneously. Riboflavin, vitamin B2, plays a critical role in the synthesis of FAD and FMN, the flavin coenzymes that are essential for the mitochondrial electron transport chain that produces the majority of your nerve cells' ATP. Research published in the Journal of Neurological Sciences found that riboflavin supplementation produced significant improvements in nerve conduction velocity and reductions in neuropathic pain scores in patients with peripheral nerve conditions, confirming the direct clinical relevance of riboflavin adequacy for nerve function and pain management. Pyridoxine, vitamin B6, is the cofactor for over 100 enzymatic reactions in amino acid metabolism, including the synthesis of the neurotransmitters serotonin, dopamine, and GABA that modulate pain perception in the central nervous system. Research published in Pain Medicine found that vitamin B6 supplementation significantly reduced nerve pain scores in patients with peripheral neuropathy, with the pain reduction attributed to both improved neurotransmitter synthesis and direct effects on nerve inflammation pathways. The third mechanism is magnesium stabilization of NMDA receptors and reduction of central sensitization in back nerve pain pathways. 1 cup of cooked lentils provides 71 milligrams of magnesium, approximately 17% of the recommended daily intake for adults over 60. And for back nerve pain specifically, magnesium's most important function is as the natural gatekeeper of NMDA receptors, the molecular channels on nerve cells that control central sensitization, the process through which the nervous system amplifies pain signals far beyond what the actual tissue damage warrants. When magnesium is present in adequate concentrations, it physically sits inside the NMDA receptor channel and blocks the excessive calcium influx that triggers and maintains central sensitization. The shooting electric quality of back nerve pain, the burning that seems disproportionate to any visible injury, the allodynia where even light pressure on the back produces severe pain, all of these are hallmarks of NMDA receptor-mediated central sensitization. And adequate magnesium from consistent daily lentil consumption directly counteracts this sensitization by maintaining the NMDA receptor blockade that prevents pain signal amplification. Research published in the journal Pain found that dietary magnesium supplementation significantly reduced central sensitization pain scores in patients with chronic nerve pain, with the most pronounced effects observed in patients with the highest degree of central sensitization at baseline. Eating lentils daily provides a sustained food matrix-delivered source of magnesium that maintains consistent tissue magnesium concentrations throughout the day, a delivery pattern that research has shown to be more effective for NMDA receptor stabilization than intermittent high-dose supplementation. The fourth mechanism is zinc's protection of nerve cell membranes from oxidative damage and its role in nerve growth factor signaling. 1 cup of cooked lentils provides 3.3 milligrams of zinc, approximately 30% of the recommended daily intake for adults. Zinc is one of the most important trace minerals for peripheral nerve health, and its deficiency is extraordinarily common in American adults over 60 due to the age-related decline in zinc absorption efficiency we discussed earlier. Zinc protects nerve cell membranes through two complementary mechanisms. First, zinc is a structural component of superoxide dismutase, one of the primary antioxidant enzymes that protects nerve cell membranes from the reactive oxygen species produced by chronic inflammation. When zinc is deficient, superoxide dismutase activity falls, oxidative damage to nerve cell membranes accelerates, and the myelin sheath and nerve fiber structural integrity deteriorates progressively. Second, zinc is a critical modulator of nerve growth factor, NGF, receptor signaling. Research published in the journal Neuroscience Letters found that zinc directly activates the TRKA receptor, through which NGF exerts its nerve survival and regeneration promoting effects, meaning that adequate zinc is essential not just for antioxidant nerve protection, but for the nerve's active capacity to respond to its own regenerative growth signals. Without adequate zinc, the nerve literally cannot respond effectively to the NGF that should be driving its repair, leaving it trapped in a state of progressive deterioration regardless of how much physical therapy or supplementation it receives. The fifth mechanism is iron's role in nerve tissue oxygen delivery and myelin synthesis. 1 cup of cooked lentils provides 6.6 milligrams of iron, approximately 37% of the recommended daily intake for adult men and 83% for women over 50. Iron is essential for nerve tissue health through two specific mechanisms. First, iron is the central atom of hemoglobin in red blood cells that carries oxygen through the bloodstream to every tissue in the body, including the nerve tissue of the back. When iron is suboptimal, even at levels that do not meet the clinical threshold for anemia, the oxygen-carrying capacity of the blood is reduced, and nerve tissue receives less oxygen than it needs for optimal function and repair. Research published in the Journal of Peripheral Nervous System Research found that subanemic iron insufficiency was associated with measurable reductions in peripheral nerve conduction velocity and increases in nerve pain sensitivity, confirming that optimal iron status above the anemia threshold is important for nerve function even in people who would not be diagnosed with iron deficiency anemia by standard laboratory criteria. Second, Iron is a cofactor for the enzyme stearoyl-CoA desaturase that is essential for the synthesis of the unsaturated fatty acids that make up the myelin sheath lipid bilayer. When iron is insufficient, myelin lipid synthesis is impaired, myelin sheath maintenance becomes less effective, and the electrical insulation properties of the myelin that allow rapid and efficient nerve signal conduction progressively deteriorate. Eating iron-rich lentils daily, combined with a source of vitamin C at the same meal to maximize the absorption of lentils' non-heme iron, provides a consistent and meaningful daily contribution to the iron status that supports optimal nerve tissue oxygenation and myelin maintenance. Now I want to share a story with you that brings everything we have been discussing to life in the most real and personal way. Aspen is a 68-year-old retired librarian from Denver, Colorado. She had been dealing with chronic lower back nerve pain for approximately 19 months, a progressive, exhausting condition that had begun after a minor fall on an icy sidewalk and that had never properly resolved. The deep, aching, burning pain in her lower back and the occasional shooting sensations that traveled down her right leg had failed to respond meaningfully to 2 courses of physical therapy, 1 cortisone injection that provided 6 weeks of partial relief, and a comprehensive supplement protocol that included magnesium glycinate, fish oil, vitamin D3, and turmeric. Her pain averaged a 5 to 6 out of 10 most days, enough to prevent her from the long walks in the mountains she had loved her entire adult life and from the hours of reading that had defined her career and her personal identity. Aspen was a meticulous researcher, as you might expect from someone who had spent her career helping people find and evaluate information. She had read extensively about the nutritional requirements of peripheral nerve tissue and had been struck by how comprehensively the standard American diet fails to meet these requirements, and by how completely the conventional supplement approach she had been following addressed some nerve-healing nutrients while leaving significant gaps in others. She had been taking magnesium glycinate and vitamin D3, but no folate beyond what was in her multivitamin, no B1 or B2 specifically targeted for nerve health, no additional zinc beyond her baseline dietary intake, and no specific attention to her iron status for nerve tissue oxygenation. When she came across the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition research on dietary folate from legumes and homocysteine reduction and connected it to the neurology paper linking elevated homocysteine to peripheral nerve damage, something clicked for her as a researcher. She recognized that homocysteine-mediated nerve damage was a mechanism that her entire existing supplement protocol was completely failing to address. And she recognized that lentils, with their extraordinary folate content combined with their comprehensive B vitamin, magnesium, zinc, and iron profile, offered something that no single supplement she had been taking could provide: a complete, synergistic, food matrix-delivered package of every nutrient her back nerve tissue was most likely deficient in. She began eating 1 cup of cooked lentils every single day, cycling through red lentil soup for dinner several nights per week, green lentil salad for lunch on other days, and brown lentil curry on weekends. She always paired her lentil servings with a source of vitamin C, either a glass of orange juice, a serving of bell peppers, or a squeeze of fresh lemon juice, to maximize the absorption of lentils' non-heme iron. She kept her existing supplement protocol unchanged and added only the daily lentil serving as the new variable. She maintained her detailed daily pain log, rating her back nerve pain morning and evening on a 10-point scale and specifically tracking her homocysteine level through a blood test at baseline and again at the 8-week mark. For the first 8 days, she noticed primarily digestive adjustments, a slight increase in gas and bloating that she expected based on her research on legume fiber and that resolved by day 10 as her gut microbiome adapted. On day 11, she recorded in her pain log, morning pain 4 out of 10, first time below 5 in several months. By day 14, her pain scores were consistently in the 4 range, down from her baseline 5 to 6. She noticed that the shooting sensation traveling down her right leg, which had been occurring several times per week, had become less frequent. By the end of week 4, her average daily pain score had declined to 3.8, a reduction of approximately 35% from her baseline average of 5.8. At the 8-week mark, Aspen had her homocysteine retested. Her baseline level had been 14.2 micromoles per liter, elevated above the optimal threshold of 10 micromoles per liter that the research associates with nerve protection. Her 8-week level was 9.8 micromoles per liter, now within the optimal range. She noted in her pain log at the 8-week mark, homocysteine normalized. Pain score this week averaging 3.2. Shooting sensations down right leg occurring approximately once per week instead of several times. Walking distance before pain onset increased from approximately 20 minutes to 45 minutes. Mountain walk planned for next weekend, first attempt in over a year. She completed that mountain walk, a 3-mile trail she had last completed the summer before her back nerve pain began, at a consistent 3 out of 10 discomfort level that she described as entirely manageable. She sent her physical therapist a photograph from the trail with a note that said, "Lentils every day for 8 weeks. Homocysteine normalized. Nerve pain reduced by almost 45% from baseline. Who knew the most powerful nerve-healing food in the grocery store was the cheapest one in the bulk bins?" Her physical therapist replied that she had never thought to recommend dietary folate optimization specifically for nerve pain, and that she was going to start asking her chronic nerve pain patients about their legume consumption going forward. Here is your exact daily lentil protocol for back nerve pain relief, with every detail specified for maximum nutritional benefit. Eat 1 cup of cooked lentils every single day. Any variety of lentils, red, green, brown, black, or French, provides the comprehensive nerve-healing nutrient profile we have discussed, though the specific nutrient concentrations vary slightly between varieties. Red lentils cook the fastest, approximately 15 to 20 minutes without soaking, and have a mild, slightly sweet flavor that blends easily into soups, dals, and sauces. Green and brown lentils hold their shape after cooking and work well in salads, grain bowls, and side dishes. French lentils, also called puy lentils, have a slightly firmer texture and an earthy flavor that pairs particularly well with roasted vegetables and vinaigrette-based salads. Always pair your daily lentil serving with a vitamin C source to maximize iron absorption. Vitamin C converts the non-heme iron in lentils from its less absorbable ferric form to its more bioavailable ferrous form, dramatically increasing the amount of iron your body actually absorbs. Add fresh lemon juice to your lentil dish, serve it alongside bell peppers or tomatoes, or drink a small glass of orange juice with your meal. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that adding 100 milligrams of vitamin C, roughly the amount in half a cup of red bell peppers or 1 medium orange, to a meal containing non-heme iron increased iron absorption by up to 67%. Soak your lentils for 4 to 8 hours before cooking whenever possible. Soaking reduces the phytic acid content of lentils by approximately 50%. Phytic acid is an anti-nutrient that binds to the zinc, iron, and magnesium in lentils and reduces their absorption. Reducing phytic acid through soaking significantly increases the bioavailability of all 3 minerals, meaning the zinc, iron, and magnesium you absorb from soaked lentils is meaningfully higher than from unsoaked lentils. If you are using red lentils, which are already hulled and have lower phytic acid, soaking is less critical but still beneficial. Give the daily lentil protocol a minimum of 14 days before assessing initial pain results. This is the timeline within which folate-driven homocysteine reduction becomes clinically measurable and within which the B vitamin complex begins to meaningfully impact myelin synthesis capacity. Give it a minimum of 8 weeks for the full spectrum of nerve-healing benefits: homocysteine normalization, myelin repair, NMDA receptor stabilization from improved magnesium status, nerve membrane protection from restored zinc-dependent superoxide dismutase activity, and improved nerve tissue oxygenation from better iron status to fully manifest in your pain experience. Track your pain scores morning and evening every single day, and consider asking your doctor to check your homocysteine level at baseline and at 8 weeks, as Aspen did, to have objective confirmation of the folate-mediated nerve protection that your daily lentils are producing. To maximize your results, combine your daily lentil serving with these 3 synergistic additions. First, add methylcobalamin, active vitamin B12, at 1,000 micrograms sublingually every morning. Lentils provide folate and B6, 2 of the 3 nutrients in the homocysteine methylation cycle, but not B12, which is found only in animal products. Completing the methylation cycle with methylcobalamin ensures that your folate from lentils can fully execute the homocysteine to methionine conversion that protects your nerve tissue. Second, add a zinc supplement of 15 milligrams daily if you are over 65 to compensate for the age-related decline in zinc absorption that may prevent adequate zinc from reaching your nerve tissue even with consistent lentil consumption. Third, continue or begin magnesium glycinate at 300 to 400 milligrams at bedtime to complement the magnesium from your lentils and ensure that your NMDA receptor stabilization and overnight nerve repair processes are fully supported throughout the night. The bottom line is this: your back nerves need folate to repair their DNA and control their homocysteine. They need B vitamins to synthesize myelin and produce the neurotransmitters that regulate pain. They need magnesium to stabilize their pain receptors and prevent central sensitization. They need zinc to protect their membranes from oxidative damage and respond to nerve growth factor. And they need iron to receive adequate oxygen for function and repair. Lentils provide all 5 of these critical nerve-healing nutrients in a single affordable serving that costs less than $2 a pound at any grocery store in America. Aspen discovered this at 68 after 19 months of treatment-resistant back nerve pain, and 8 weeks of daily lentils gave her back the mountain trail she had been missing. The lentils are in the bulk bins at your grocery store right now. Buy them today, cook them tomorrow, and give your back nerves the most comprehensive natural nutritional support available in any single food starting this week. Now, before you go, drop a comment below right now and tell me your age and the city you are watching from. And tell me, have you ever eaten lentils regularly before? Did you know they were one of the most nutritionally complete foods for nerve health? I want to hear from you. I read every single comment personally, and your experience matters deeply to every single person in this community dealing with back nerve pain. And if this video gave you something genuinely valuable, a simple, affordable, immediately actionable food that addresses the complete nutritional root causes of back nerve pain, please share it right now with someone you love who is suffering. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and I will see you in the next video. Buy the lentils. Eat them every day, and give your back nerves the comprehensive nutritional support they have been waiting for. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and does not constitute medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment of any kind. The information presented reflects publicly available research and clinical literature as of 2026. The patient story featuring Aspen is for illustrative purposes only. Individual results will always vary. Lentils are high in oxalates and purines. Consume with caution if you have a history of kidney stones or gout. Always pair lentils with vitamin C for maximum iron absorption. Consult your physician before significantly increasing legume consumption if you are managing kidney disease or phenylketonuria. The creator of this channel is not a licensed medical professional. No statements in this video have been evaluated or approved by the FDA. Nothing in this video is intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Never delay seeking professional medical advice because of content you have watched online. Viewer discretion is advised.